Cop thinks his badge protects him until he brings the wrong man to court, and everything implodes. What happens when a badge blinds a man to justice? But the truth refuses to stay silent. In the heart of a sweltering southern town, where whispers of prejudice linger like dust in the air, Officer Daniel Hargrove believed his word was law. His badge, a shield of untouchable power, gave him free rein to patrol the streets of Fairview with an iron grip. For years, he'd bent the rules, framing petty thieves and corner hustlers, always skating by on charm and connections. But when he arrested Marcus Tate, a quiet mechanic with no record, Hargrove's world began to unravel. Marcus wasn't like the others. A black man in his late 30s, he carried himself with a calm dignity that unsettled Hargrove from the start. It began with a routine traffic stop. Hargrove claimed he saw Marcus swerve, though the dashcam told a different story. A planted bag of drugs, a quick report, and Marcus was cuffed, his life upended in minutes. Hargrove smirked as he filed the charges, confident the system would bend to his will. After all, it always had. But Marcus wasn't just a name on a report. He was a father, a husband, a man who'd spent years rebuilding his life after a childhood scarred by the same kind of injustice Hargrove wielded so casually. The courtroom was a pressure cooker on the day of the trial. Hargrove sat smugly in the witness stand, his polished badge gleaming under the fluorescent lights. He spun his tale with practiced ease. Marcus, the dangerous dealer, caught red-handed. The prosecutor nodded along, eager to close another case. But Marcus's lawyer, a sharp-eyed woman named Lena Carter, had done her homework. She dug into Hargrove's years of complaints, hushed-up misconduct, and a pattern of targeting men like Marcus. She'd also found the dashcam footage, buried in the precinct's archives, that showed no swerve, no drugs, just Hargrove's cold calculation. As Lena cross-examined Hargrove, the room grew still. She dissected his story with surgical precision, each question a scalpel slicing through his lies. "Officer, can you explain why the dashcam shows no erratic driving?" she asked, her voice steady but laced with fire. Hargrove faltered, his confidence cracking. The judge, a grizzled veteran named Ellis, leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. The crowd murmured, sensing the shift. Marcus sat silently, his hands folded, but his gaze burned into Hargrove via quiet strength that spoke louder than words. Then came a bombshell. Lena presented a witness, Jamal, a young man Hargrove had framed years before. Jamal's testimony was raw, his voice trembling as he recounted how Hargrove had planted evidence to secure a conviction that cost him 3 years of his life. The courtroom erupted. Hargrove's face drained of color, his badge no longer a shield but a target. The judge banged his gavel, demanding order, but the truth was a tidal wave, unstoppable. Marcus took the stand next. His voice was low, steady, but every word carried the weight of a life under siege. He spoke of his daughter, who cried herself to sleep, fearing she'd lose her father. He spoke of his wife, working double shifts to pay legal fees. He spoke of Fairview, a town where justice seemed to come with a color code. The room was silent, save for the soft sobs of a woman in the back, a juror, her face streaked with tears. The climax came when Lena played the dashcam footage. The grainy video showed Hargrove's lie in stark clarity. No swerve, no drugs, just a man targeted for existing. The crowd roared, some with anger, others with vindication. Hargrove slumped in his seat, his badge now a millstone. Judge Ellis's voice boomed as he dismissed the charges against Marcus, ordering an investigation into Hargrove's conduct. The officer was let out, his career in ruins, his arrogance shattered. Marcus walked free, but his victory was bittersweet. He hugged his daughter in the courthouse hallway, tears in his eyes, knowing the system that failed him still stood. Lena, exhausted but resolute, vowed to keep fighting. The crowd dispersed, some cheering, others whispering about change. Fairview wasn't transformed overnight, but Marcus's case cracked open a door to accountability, a sliver of hope in a town long darkened by prejudice. In the end, Hargrove's badge didn't protect him, it exposed him. His downfall was a reminder no one is above the truth. Marcus's quiet strength, Lena's fierce advocacy, and a community's outrage proved that justice, though slow, could still rise. The fight wasn't over, but for one man, one family, one moment, the scales had tipped toward right. And in Fairview, that was a start. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.